On this week's show, a new Infinity accessory, Toy Box Speedway release date, and October challenges. All this and more in episode 105 of the Inside Infinity podcast. Hello everyone, welcome to Inside Infinity episode number 105, recorded September 21st, 2015. As always, I'm Will Kelly, and joining me once again, Mr. Jason Haynes. Jason, how are you doing, my friend?
G'day, Will. G'day, listeners. I am good enough.
Good enough? Why just good enough? Come on
Good
now.
enough. Good enough to podcast, so that's good enough. That's all I have to say.
Hey, that's good enough for me. As long as you're good to podcast, and that's good with me. All right, well, welcome everyone to this week's show. It's kind of a usual show. We haven't had a usual show in, gosh, probably 6 or 7 weeks at this point. Probably since before D23, in all honesty. I'd like to say hello to everyone who's joining us live and in the chat room with us here tonight. I'd like to say hello to Crazy Bob. Welcome. Filtered Reality. Full of Gunk. Good seeing you again. German Bold Attack. I still can't get over that name. Carrie. Good seeing you again. Latin Soul. Matt Master. Inpan. Omi. Romulus. What's up, Romulus? Seawolf. And I apologize, there's one other that is cut off. I'd like to thank everyone who's joining us tonight and sitting there in the chat room, keeping us company. And of course, Bad Gamer Official. Modding the chat room. Jason and I are really excited about this week's show. We're excited about every week's show, but it's been kind of a while since we've had just he and I being able to shoot back and forth at each other, and we're glad that you are all here joining us this week. Got lots of fun news to talk about. Before we get started, Jason, have you been playing lots of Infinity lately? Or are you still head deep in the farming, or yeah?
Oh, no, I haven't farmed in ages. Not since I had the hideous restart situation happen, but I've actually been spending a fair bit of time in the playsets, which is completely not me, but I guess we'll probably talk about that a little bit more in the later section of the show.
Yeah, we will talk about it. It's not officially in the show notes, but the Rise Against the Empire, for those that did not get the Saga bundle, is coming out next week. So here in the States, it is September 28th. So actually, it's a week from today, I believe. So that's exciting. I know you've had hands-on with it for a while. So is Logan Q. Lanu. I'm really excited to get my hands on that playset. I think that's the one that I've been kind of waiting on. But yeah, well, that's good to hear. Glad you're enjoying the playsets. Think we should go ahead and get started with the show, but before we do that, Jason, I got to give a shout out to a new friend of the show. So this is a shout out to one of our listeners, Drew. Jason, we got some new competition. If we're not careful, we're going to be our throne's going to be taken over. So Drew is a listener of ours, and he sent us a podcast that he started. He started a Disney Infinity podcast, and in this episode that I listened to, it was the top 5 playsets, and I just got to give Drew props because it was awesome. Really, really smart kid. He talked about a lot of stuff, Jason, that you and I didn't even haven't even brought up before, and it was cool because he kind of went back all the way to 1.0, had some playsets in 2.0 and 3.0, and so just wanted to say thanks, Drew, for sending that to us, and we really appreciate you listening to the show and liking what we do, and keep up the great work. And if you need an
Australian co-host, I will go to the highest bidder. I will abandon Will, so just feel free to reach out.
And that is a good deal, Drew, I will admit. And you know what? I may even pay you to pay Jason. No, not. Not only kidding, but that was awesome, Drew. Appreciate that you sending that to us, and keep it up, buddy. All right, Jason, let's start with the news items. Latin Soul in the chat is saying, giving you props, Jason, for your tutorial videos. It says keep it coming. They're awesome. I agree.
Well, as soon as I find time, I will be. I've got a few more on my to-do list to create, some exciting ones. So
give us a tease.
So I really want to do a tutorial on 2D platforming because I haven't really seen a great example of like how easy it is to set up a 2D platformer, and I'm interested in just experimenting with that myself, actually, just because it's so much easier to design when you're only dealing with that singular plane, so to speak. So I want to show you how to do that, and I've been meaning to do for a while, for the longest time, a using a space battle, take off from a planet and transition into a space scene. So that's the
Nice.
top two that I would like to get around to recording, but we'll see. But a shout out to Sumerian too. If you're not following Sumerian, he has some phenomenal tutorials as
Hmm.
well. Particularly liked his one that he posted this week about doubling the speed of the metronome, which was a really cool, nice little infinity hack, as I like to call it. He's really the hack master. So be sure to check his content out as well.
Yeah. Oh gosh, I was just gonna ask you. Oh, have you gotten your hands on, or have you got a handle on the metronome tool yet and making music?
Still scares me.
No.
Don't even want to look at it. I am not there yet. I've still
Gotcha.
got it's incredible how many toys you don't touch.
Yeah.
Like
Hmm.
there's so many toys. It's really hard to master them all, and you tend to just there's a select few that you just tend to go to all the
Yeah.
time. But yeah, it's
Cool.
cool.
Well, let's see. Someone in the chat room. I'm sorry, it passed, but you might have a opportunity to use your 2D platforming for one of the October challenges. We'll be chatting about that later today. All right, Jason, let's go ahead and start talking about the news. First item of the week is coming at us from DizKingdom.com. Test one, two. There we go. All right. Sorry about that, folks. We lost our audio for a moment. So first news items coming at us from DizKingdom.com. And you know what? We found out a little while ago that who was it? Who used to be accessory maker? I can't. Oh, PDP used to be a longtime Infinity accessory maker. They have Power A has actually taken over the official duties of accessories, and this is one of the few new ones that we've seen. It's a globe coming out November 25th, and it holds a character. I don't.
What's the thing on top of it?
It's a power disc. It's like a holder. I don't know what
So it's
it
almost like
is.
feels like a Christmas ornament.
That's what it feels like to me. That's exactly what it feels like to me. It includes a power disc adapter, which I believe that's what that is. Um, I don't get it, man. I just don't.
Is the idea that you can put your figure in it and put it on the base and like use it in case, so you're not putting fingerprints on your figure?
Doubtful. I doubt it's going to read through that base. It says it offers protection and 360-degree viewing. There's a no, because here you go. Quick release action to grab your figure during gameplay. And yeah, I don't know. Yeah, people in the chat are saying, "What is this? A Christmas ornament?" Jason, you said it. Anytime I see a globe, I know they're not always Christmas themed. But that's the only thing I can think of. It's coming out November 25th, so
Does that look to you that it'd fit a Wreck-It Ralph figure or a
no.
Hulk?
I don't know. Do you have Darth Vader? I don't have Darth Vader.
Yes,
Is he?
of
Well,
course.
what's his size
Yeah, no,
comparison?
he's smaller than Hulk.
Okay.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I doubt
Anyway,
it. I doubt it would
I,
hold it.
I will admit though, I mean, as a travel accessory, that's kind of cool. Like my daughter wanted to take one of these figures to her show and tell at school the other day. She wanted to
Hmm.
take Darth Maul and I think it was Vader. And I was freaking because I thought I could see these lightsabers getting snapped off, just thrown in a bag or whatnot. So that's a good solution if you want to cart your figures around for whatever reason, take it to a friend's house or if taking them to Disneyland to do photos.
Yeah.
That's a better option to throw in a bag rather than just loose. So
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's a great point, and it does look like it might be smaller than the PDP holders, so it might be easier to pack.
but it's definitely not the kind of thing I could see myself buying one for every one of my figures to put
No.
on display by any means.
Yeah, and people are like, what is the power disc adapter adapting? People in the chat are kind of split on this. Matt Master 1000 is saying they're going to make a Disney Infinity Christmas tree this year, so I guess in that respect it will be perfect. I don't know. There you go. There's a new Disney Infinity accessory. All right, let's move on to our next news item, something that I am actually really excited about. This piece of news is coming at us from InfinityInquirer.com. Jason, our friend over there, our newest patron, actually. Thank you for that, my friend. So Jason posted this, today? Yeah, today. We finally have a release date for Toy Box Speedway. And that release date is October 13th. So it's not going to be with the Rise Against the Empire playset. It is going to be October 13th. And the funny part is this is also coinciding with the official release of Toy Box Takeover. And although you've been able to get Toy Box Takeover in stores, if you've been lucky and you didn't pre-order, this is the official release. And you can also pre-order these. Amazon is guaranteeing release day delivery for Takeover sets. So we're assuming that Jason's assuming that Speedway is the same way. So, yeah, what do you think, Jason? What do you think about Toy Box Speedway? October 13th, is that too far away?
No, it's not too far away. I still think... Oh, it's so tough, isn't it? Like, I think Speedway should have been included in the starter set. I think Speedway is huge. I think the reason it's probably been separated out a little bit, because it's only like 8 or 9 tracks.
Yeah, something like that.
Which is not a huge amount of content. But I think the biggest frustration as a toy box builder is how much cool content has been locked away because of that Speedway disc not being out.
Definitely a lot more content was locked by Toy Box Speedway than Takeover. I mean, we had sidekicks, a lot of sidekicks in Takeover, but as far as Toy Box toys, there weren't nearly as many. I think there's one for each level, and there's 5 levels. Was there 5 levels? Yeah, one big toy, and those are really cool toys, but there's lots of theming stuff in Speedway and lots of just really neat, interesting toy box toys, and I agree with you on that.
I'm still excited for it. I don't know. I think my excitement on it's probably waned a little bit. I don't know what the long-term playability of the Speedway racing is going to be, so I don't know. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, with that few of tracks, that's the only thing that concerns me. And we've seen so many of them as is. But I don't know. I think it'll be fun. I think I'm mostly excited about just having the racing option, but more excited about those toy box toys.
Yeah, definitely. Like the Arendelle stuff alone is like want it hardcore.
Yep.
ASAP.
Lim is saying he's loving the spacing of the releases this time, which is great.
It definitely goes, and that's something that we'll probably talk about again in the roundtable section. But I'm interested, so you can think of I'm interested to hear your thoughts on what it feels like to have a major playset about to be, launched. And that's kind of what we're going to talk about. What's Disney Infinity feel like post-launch?
Yep.
So we'll bring that up again in
Definitely.
the roundtable section.
Latin Soul is saying that October 13th is also the release of the Tomorrowland Blu-ray. So, interesting. I doubt there's any connection, but unless there's a Tomorrowland, I don't think there's not a Tomorrowland Speedway track. But cool. Well, yeah, that's really exciting news. It's also exciting news to have official word on Toy Box Takeover as well, because that's something that has been kind of people have been a little bit confused about. I want to give a shout out to my friend Chris over at DisneyHolics.com. This next news item is coming from him, and it's kind of a combined thing or article about Toy Box Speedway. But the piece that we're actually going to be focusing on is that we now have release dates for Spot from Good Dinosaur and the Good Dinosaur Power Disc. So there you can see Spot and the Power Disc there. Spot and the Power Disc are releasing November 3rd, 2015. And you can actually go on Amazon today, Amazon and the Disney Store, and pre-order both of those items. So Spot. That's not too far out. I don't know the release date of Good Dinosaur, but I'm
I was
assuming
gonna say
it's.
that seems so. That's obviously, is that supposed to be this year? I thought that was a next year film.
Mm-hmm.
So it is a next year film, but no.
No, it's this fall. It's this fall here.
Okay,
I'll look it up.
that's interesting.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it better be. They better not. They better not. Release date November 25th. Wow. So this is coming out really early, which is really kind of strange, Jason, because we know that there was some issues with the Good Dinosaur Power Disc, and being with the release of the game. So people were saying that the
No, it
Power
was the
Disc.
Zootopia, wasn't it?
No, it was good. I could have sworn it was Good Dinosaur. But maybe it was Zootopia.
I think it was Zootopia. You were
Was
talking
it?
about the ones that the power disc that had to remove from the.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that was Zootopia.
Okay. Cool. Seawolf in the chat is asking what are people's what are people's thought on Spot being included in Disney Infinity? That's a great question, Jason. I don't think I've even kind of gotten your thoughts on this. What do you think about the
I
Spot
was
figure?
literally just thinking as you brought it up on the screen. I thought, because I know next to nothing about the Good Dinosaur film,
Okay.
so I'm like, what's this thing? What's like? It's a kid, obviously. I was like,
Uh-huh.
what's his powers? What's his like? What's the? You know, they always talk about how an Infinity character has to be. What's the appealing gameplay
Right.
mechanic of the character? And I'm looking at that and going, what's his power? You know what I mean? Like, what? Does he have superpowers? Like,
Mhm.
you know, I don't know. I'm assuming not, because he's obviously based on some form of caveman-esque type thing. So I don't know.
Well, in his character, he's kind of characterized as kind of a. This is gonna sound weird, but kind of as a dog. In the movie, he doesn't speak. He grunts and gestures, and he runs around on all fours. So I do expect him to kind of run around on all fours in a way, kind of like a modified version of
So he's going to kind of be like Stitch. He's probably going to be a
Stitch.
Stitch
Yep.
equivalent.
Yep. But Stitch had his blasters, so I don't know. Is he gonna throw rocks? I could see him throwing rocks as a ranged character. He could.
At the end of the day, it's the same with the Inside Out characters. TSL the movie, it's so
Yeah.
hard to even have like, is it a? It comes down to, is it a likable character?
Hmm.
Because at the end of the day, I don't know whether this sounds bad or not, but I look at my Disney Infinity collection, and there's like, you know, as we know, close to 100 characters there or something like that, and you
Right.
really only want to play with like, you know, you can count them on one hand, the ones you actually want to play with when you're playing the game. So slightly different with the Star Wars stuff. I must admit, I've enjoyed cycling through the different characters through the Star Wars playsets. But just in general, when you're talking toy box, it's like, does he fly? Can he effectively kill something quickly? That's all I
Right.
care about when it comes to toy box building. Unless I'm specifically building a toy box for a particular character. And so I could see this character just getting on the shelf with the rest of the figures, and it's more about the collector side of things. Do I like this character enough
Hmm.
that I want to have that embodied in a figure? And that's
Yeah.
the unknown quantity until the film is seen.
Absolutely agree with you. I am excited about the film, seeing a little bit, a snippet of it at D23, more so than I was before that. So I do encourage you to see it. I think it's going to be a good one, but I agree with you. Until it's hard to create a connection with these characters until you've actually seen them, like Inside Out, like you said.
Which is kind of weird. Why I don't know. I don't know if it was the right time to announce it. Wouldn't it be better to announce these characters? I guess the film's about to be out. I guess
Yeah.
that's what I mean. There's just there's so little hype. You're just like,
Well,
you know, all the Disney fans like, okay, so we get a character we have no idea about yet. You know what I mean? It just feels like a negative announcement. Why can't I have my, you know, Snow White or whatever?
who was it? Someone in the chat was saying they're bummed about. Let's see here. Oh, Sup Mom is saying they're bummed about the power disc being presumably all mounts. So we have 3 of the Tyrannosaurus Rex characters and then Arlo. And I can only imagine, especially given the it's hard to see here in the picture, but given the let me try to blow this up, the face icons with Arlo. So you have Arlo face here, and it's all the same. And Arlo absolutely has to be a mount. Forgive me, Spot's face, not Arlo. And so this is indicative to me of all of these being mounts, and that's just, yeah, that is kind of a weird power disc pack. I don't know how I feel about that.
Particularly because, I don't know, like, yeah, no, that's tough.
Yeah.
Mounts, how often do you use them?
Yeah, not very often. I mean, I have some of the coolest mounts in the game. I have a parking lot tram. I have, well, those aren't mounts, but, you know, vehicles. I have the electric parade float, and I still don't take the time to...
I would have much preferred a Tauntaun as a, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's the kind of mount that I want to, like, I'm always going to want to ride one of those things, no matter what the character is. Give me the ability to just quickly, that's the benefit of the power disc, is it's like, without even thinking, you can super quickly bring that item into the game by just pasting down the disc.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to cycle through any menus or anything like that. So, but anyway, let's not prejudge it. I'm sure, like, riding dinosaurs is cool.
Yep. Riding dinosaurs.
A whole show around it. Dino Riders
is cool. So this coincides with what they're calling Wave 3, and also on November 3rd, Hulkbuster, Ultron, and Darth Maul are released. So it looks like they're all being released that day. So November 3rd, we're going to get a pretty big push of new Infinity stuff. Cool. All right, my friend. Last item of note here is that Disney has come out and told us what we can expect from the October Toy Box challenges. So first I'm going to mention the challenges, Jason, then I'm going to ask if what are your thoughts on this and if you're planning on building anything. So first up, October 1st through the 7th, the platforming challenge. So here you go, Jason. You can make your 2D platformer. After that, October 8th through the 14th is Star Wars Rebels challenge. Really, really excited about that one. I forget, Jason, do you watch the Rebels show?
Yes, I've seen Rebels, yes. Has season 2 started yet?
I don't think officially. I mean, they did release episode 1 for season 2, but I think it was like the pre-release thing.
Okay.
After that, something I'm really excited about, October 15th through the 21st, the Halloween challenge. That's going to be really, really cool. There's lots of, as they said here, there's lots of Nightmare Before Christmas and Haunted Mansion toys, new toys in 3.0. So that should make for some good stuff. And then October 22nd and the 28th is the Disney Pixar Inside Out challenge. I believe the movie is released. Yep, it is. It's released on November 3rd. So that's the reason for that challenge. So that's pretty cool. What do you think of these challenges, Jason?
They sound good. They sound very good, actually. Probably have a crack at least 1 or 2 of them. Yeah, we'll see. Although, it kind of depends on whether they're going to fix my text tool or not, because that kind of makes it hard. So, bugs pending. We'll see. Because I'm over bashing my head against the wall to like get something to work. Like that's not fun.
Yeah.
But definitely. I think they're good because they're they're a little bit more open ended, which I like, and that's when you get some really interesting content out there. So I don't know. So really excited about the Inside Out challenge. That could be super interesting.
Lots of stuff in the toy box for that. It'll be interesting to see how people separate themselves from the playset in that challenge.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Yeah, and to be honest, I don't know about you, but like initially when I first found out about Inside Out, I was really excited about playsets, like not making toy boxes for it. But I haven't really spent too much time even looking at what toys are actually available in the Inside Out theming department. So that could be a good one, interesting one to look at.
Yeah. Yep. Romulus, thanks for catching that piece. So there's also a little piece of news here that's pretty important. So soon you'll be able to catch which Toy Box challenges are coming exactly 1 month in advance from a rotating calendar on the community page. Every week the calendar will be updated with the next Toy Box challenge. So stay tuned for that. So sounds like each week it will be updated with the next challenge. So that's going to be really great. They're not going to just say, because think about it right now, for October 1st through the 7th, we have a couple weeks to think about it. Whereas, starting with this, after that first week, we're going to know exactly a month out on from every future challenge. So great catch, Romulus. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
I think that'll help with people's planning. I mean,
I still think let's just get rid of top 5. It's stupid, and let's dedicate a show to that one day, and how we could do this a lot better.
Let's put that in the books on a way that we can strategize a new way of accomplishing this.
Well, at the very least, no, we'll save it for another show. But at the very least, I feel like let's put the cards on the table now. Let's let the competitors know what's on the line here. As I said, I missed out on the summit last year by 2 wins. So what happens if I bust my gut and I get 7 wins this year, and it's 9 wins this year, folks, which is, let's face it, almost unattainable.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think, I guess my point is, if the top 5's not offering anything as a prize, forget the summit, right? Because the summit's always been sort of a last minute, hey, we're going to do a summit this year and let's reward those that have done really well. That's cool. But the point is, they don't go out of the gate. There's nothing on the offer other than being featured on Toybox Live TV, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, that's kind of a good draw card, but it doesn't justify having such a simplistic method of content creation. But definitely we'll talk about that, because there are, I think, way better ways it could be done that still inspires people to create content, because that's ultimately what they're doing this for.
Right.
Don't be fooled into thinking it's anything but than them to be able to say that they had X thousands of toy box created this year in their game. So just saying, why not innovate? It's getting a bit old.
I agree. And I mean, we've talked about a lot. I'm not particularly fond of the competitive nature of it, and I don't know what the solution is that, but there's so much. We've seen so much good accomplished with Toy Box collaboration and working together. Not to say you can't do that in a competition setting, but it'd be interesting.
And time constraints are stupid. Like, why wouldn't you have, if you had some form of a system where platforming, for instance, let's use that as an example. If there was a platforming category open all year, that, artists could submit to that platform at any time, then you're taking all that pressure out of the development cycle of it. People can perfect really good platformers, submit it, and then have some form of an upvoting system that bubbles all the great platformers to the top. There's so much smarter ways that it can be done. It's not a hard thing to think of.
All right, so this is what I think we need to do. I think we need to schedule this show, where we critically think and discuss about ways to improve the challenge. And then after we've done that show, we've released that show, then I think we should invite some Toy Box master builders on the next show and kind of get their response to the things we had to say, and see if they...
I agree.
Because that's, think about it, it's an entirely different kind of audience for that. So I'd love to hear their perspective. So Jason and I will get on that. We'll start planning that show. Well, that leads perfectly into our roundtable of the week, Jason. So that's it for the news. We talked before we went live just on maybe doing... We've had some special guests on. We're going to continue to have some special guests the next couple weeks. We've had the game in our hand for a couple weeks, and although we've had different variations of a review and review shows, just kind of wanted to give a progress report on our thoughts on Disney Infinity and what we're continuing to do in the game and enjoying and everything. So, Jason, let's go ahead and hear, what have you been up to? You kind of mentioned it earlier, but what are your thoughts? What are we, for almost a month out? Or no, we are a month out now. So
something like that.
Yeah, a little bit more.
So I've been shocked how much I've been drawn to the playsets, which is, again, totally was not my bag in 2.0 by any means. Avoided the playsets at all cost, to my own detriment, because there were some unlocks that I skipped. But I think they've really nailed the unlock thing with 3.0 playsets, and that's the drive for me. It's actually, that is a really valuable carrot. Like this
Yeah.
weekend, I think it was, I went through and I completed all the gold. I got gold level on all the challenges in the Rise Against the Empire playset to
Wow.
unlock. What did I unlock? R2D2, Jabba the Hutt, and some gun
They locked
or
they
something.
locked those two specifically behind challenges.
Yeah, so if
Wow.
you get bronze in all the challenges, you unlock Jabba the Hutt. If you get silver in all the challenges, you get R2D2. I think gold unlocks some gun thing, which I can't remember what it
Better
was.
be really powerful.
But the point was that it's like that's a valuable thing for me to unlock. That's a literal. I mean, there
Yeah.
is an argument for say, I can't believe you make me do all that work just to gain access to R2D2, but at least it feels like a valuable reward.
Hmm.
There's a good, satisfying feeling at the end of it when you're like, awesome, I did it, and it's not easy, but I did it, and now look at this great thing. It's almost like why I like the trophy system and achievement systems in general,
Hmm.
but trophy system a little bit more because it feels like if you've got R2D2 in a toy box, it's like, oh, he must have completed all the gold challenges in the playset. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like a badge of honor that you could put in your boxes, and I hope they take it so much further in future versions of the game because I like concept art, but I feel like I'm always a little disappointed when I unlock concept art because it's like, well, I can't really do anything else with that
Yeah.
other than like it'd be cool. Imagine if you got concept art, but imagine if all concept art could be used as paintings in the toy box.
That would be cool.
So instead of the character art, you get all this sweet art that you can hang on walls and stuff like that. That is the concept art.
That would be
Like just
really cool.
make if it's not a toy, I don't care. If it's a toy that unlocks, I'm excited because it's like not only do you get that moment of like I've unlocked in the toy box, you've got that excitement. I can't wait to get in the toy
Hmm.
box to play with that new toy that I just unlocked.
Yeah.
So anyway, they've done a really good job of that in the play sets, and the play sets are genuinely fun and varied to play. Like I actually literally am. I'm not. It's not the end of the world that I have to replay the Inside Out play set. So, but yeah, I had to completely. I redid because of a bug. I redid Rise of the Empire right from the start because I wanted to unlock the transport vehicle, and it was very unclear. I was getting conflicting reports from everyone whether it was actually something you could unlock for the toy box. Apparently, I think it was Romulus that said that it's available, it's listed in the vehicle spawner, yet it won't spawn. And so I thought, well, I have to try because at the time I was co-oping with Kira. And I thought, I'll forget it. I'll restart right from the start. I'll play the whole playset again, and it didn't unlock the second time either.
Really.
But again, but the point is, I was literally still enjoying, and I think the Rise of the Empire is the better playset. But yeah,
So, for lots of obvious reasons, it would make sense that that's a playset favorite. I can't wait to revisit that playset. We even mentioned this last week with Brandon when we had him on the show. I can't wait to see people's response and comparisons between that playset and the Force Awakens playset, whatever it is. We have no idea, but that's gonna be cool. And I'm excited to hear that you enjoy that playset so much because I'm really excited to get my hands on it and play it.
so how do you feel? As I said, like, what's the overall vibe compared to? Do playsets to you feel like DLC emotionally? You know what I mean? When you hear about this Destiny DLC coming, do you
Uh,
equate that same feeling
oh, I
to
see.
a playset? You know what I
So,
mean?
like, because we have a release coming up for playset, we just had Destiny DLC drop for new content. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm just interesting because it's like technically it is
Yeah.
kind of like DLC because it's post-released
Right.
content, but at the same time, I don't feel like the language we use. There's almost this feeling of like it
Yeah.
is post-release, but it feels like it's just part of the original game. I don't know.
That's such an interesting question. It's yeah. I don't feel that way about this game like I do every other game. It feels like maybe it's because no matter what, it's not a choice. It's like, oh yeah, it comes out, here's my money. I'm not consciously deciding to purchase this game. We are so heavily invested. The game will be at my house when it's released, just because I have to have it. So I don't know if that's
Does it feel like a new game? Like I'm thinking right
no.
now. The episode 7 playset to me feels like it's a new game. It doesn't feel like an expansion set. Only because, though, we don't have any. The only hint we have of it is in the Toy Box Hub, on the you know how it's got the base, and there's a little text description and voice that like basically references the episode 7 playset. But because we don't see what toys are going to unlock, we don't know what characters are. It feels like a brand new release to me. Whereas I think it would have been true. I think that same feeling would be applied to the Empire playset if some people already didn't have it. If it wasn't part of that bundle and they concealed everything about it so that it was a legitimate surprise when you put that power disc down. It's like, oh, awesome. Now all these toys are locked and I can go after them. I think it would feel like a completely new in Disney Infinity game.
I think that's a great observation, and I think that's something that you're hitting on with me that I didn't realize until you brought it up, is that seeing the toys locked away behind these, not paywalls, but these additional purchases. Yeah, maybe that's why. Maybe because I see that all the content exists. I know it's sitting there on my disc just waiting to be unlocked with that little piece. But because some of the element of surprise on what's available, I think that might play into it.
Yeah, definitely. I think that moving forward, I would much rather, I want that surprise. That's part of my purchasing decision or not enjoyment, is that I can put that disc down or that playset piece down and go, now I'm going to get surprised. Like how much, you know what I mean? Like, because someone said it, and you just said it when I was talking to Brandon last week on the show, and I was talking about the fact that why aren't people more excited about this ability to create Star Wars fan fiction with this Star Wars thing? And I don't know if it was on Twitter or in the chat, but someone said it's kind of hard to get excited about that when all this content is locked behind paywalls.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what it feels like, but I would be so much more motivated to play a playset and unlock everything if I never knew what it was going to unlock.
Yeah, because
how much more exciting is everything you're doing is like, wow, look at that new toy. Wow, look at that new toy. You got to give some hint, like know, but maybe just 50% of the toys you can see with a padlock, but the rest are a complete surprise.
Yeah, it's great because right now you see it, and all you see is it's a hindrance, it's a barrier, it's something getting you in the way of your creativity.
Exactly. And more so it's a demotivator, because once you've unlocked everything that you want to build with, it's like, well, I don't really need that. I don't need that townspeople character pack. It's like, whatever, I can put the playset away for now, if you know what I mean. Like, there's no, you just play to get the things you want, and then that's it. But I think if it was a little bit more mysterious, and obviously all that information is going to come out through forums and whatnot, but like if you're a day one adapter, there's a lot of excitement there and enjoyment of effectively getting these just surprise, gifts all the time coming at you hot and fast through like the presents that are opening in the hub and through the, I think it's cool.
Well, it would be like a wrapped present. You see the present there, you kind of see its general shape, but you don't really know what it is.
And there's so much excitement about episode 7 because we don't know so much about the film. It's like we don't know what characters we're going to get as townspeople. We don't know. So it's so exciting. We don't even know what the toy potential is yet because we don't know what's in the movie.
Yep. And I mean, and in their defense, it's something that's hard to do with Twilight the Republic and Rise Against the Empire as far as, making aspects of that secretive and a surprise. But
definitely. But I just think moving forward, I think that'd be a really cool way to go, because there's still that extra little bit of excitement. It's like, awesome, I've unlocked something I can play with in the toy box. That's a cool carrot, as we've talked about many a time before.
Well, man, this is really cool. I'm glad to hear you're enjoying the play sets. 1.0, you and I were all about the play sets. 2.0, couldn't really care less after we played them, and you became our resident toy box master. But now it's nice to kind of see that it's a way that you can have a little bit of reprieve from working.
It is nice. I look at it as like a downtime. It's like sometimes like you look at it, it's like I do want to play Infinity, but I don't really want to play in the toy box. It's nice to know that I could just go. Maybe I'd have try a few challenges or hunt down a few more of those. What are they called? The bat things that you got to shoot.
Oh yeah.
Just between, like, I don't know how many. Like, I don't know if you've done many of the challenges in the first playset, whatever it is. Twilight of the Republic.
Oh yeah,
yep.
yeah.
So hard.
Yeah.
Compared to the Rise
Really?
Against the Empire one. Oh,
The racing ones are hard. That one.
the one where you got to race the speeder through Tatooine.
Uh-huh.
Next to impossible. You got to do it in like 1:30, and the thing
the
controls
pods,
like
right?
garbage.
Yeah.
No, not the pods. I did that one easy. It's the one with like Luke's speeder. You got to do 2 laps of this track in Tatooine.
On Twilight? Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Twilight of the Republic. And you got to do it in 1:30, and it takes me a minute to do the first lap. It's a nightmare because the thing just controls so poorly. So I just feel like, and there was one that I spent, no joke, probably an hour and a half. One of the collector ones. We have to collect a certain amount of orbs. So difficult.
Oh, that's funny. Those orb ones are hard.
I was enjoying it.
That's cool.
So that's yeah, but it is hard.
That's
very,
cool.
very hard. And that unlocks, I believe, if you get gold in that unlocks C-3PO.
Oh, nice.
So that's like, it's a good one to get.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be hard.
That's cool. Gosh, I can't wait. Soon I'm gonna get that one. Cool. You know what, honestly, I haven't had much time in the game as of last week. I was traveling, and then I had family in town, and I missed the game though. I missed it bad. I kid you not, I went to a corn maze here yesterday. You know, it's fall season for us, and I'm walking through the corn, and I'm thinking about myself how I miss farming in in the game, and I wish these were Infinity corn stalks and not real stalks. But yeah, I'm excited to get some hands on with the game here this week and play.
They really are onto something. If they can translate that farming experience and you can play Infinity on your mobile and be farming on your mobile,
yeah,
like, look out. Like, that needs to be their #1 goal for 4.0. We need to translate so that people for free can download the Infinity app on Android, iOS, and continue to manage their farms in that mobile platform. Like, make it happen at all costs.
With me traveling this last week, that's all I wanted. I just wanted something to do Infinity that wasn't 2.0, and that would have been awesome.
That's what I love about farming. It feels like you can throw any character down. It doesn't matter what character. It doesn't have to be an epic fighter, and it just gives you something to do.
Yep.
It's just a really great, I just want to waste some time. You can be farming while watching something on TV. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And everyone loves looking at everyone else's farms.
Yeah.
Like, clearly 3.0's failure was not having enough crops to unlock.
Yeah,
like,
right.
Like, they could have just taken it to the nth degree. And I think focusing on that alone as a sub-game would, do well. They could release Disney Infinity Farming Simulator as a separate iOS Android app that interfaces with our figures, and we're happy campers.
That would have been so cool. Well, and it's version 1, so here's hoping next time it's going to be vastly improved.
Totally.
Awesome. Well, buddy, anything else about the game?
No, just as I said, like, it's hard to put into words, but I am still very much enjoying the game. And you can't say that about all games. Some games you finish, throw it out. And like, I still really, because of bugs and inability, haven't been able to spend as much time in the toy box. So I know I've got hours and hours and hours ahead of me.
Yeah.
I've got so many toy boxes I want to build. I'm loving rebuilding the Pirates of the Caribbean and the Haunted Mansion with you. And so I'm excited to keep working on those projects. And I'm yet to sort of, I'm sure the other guys have, but I'm yet to sort of test or seen the limits of the toy box yet. But yeah, hopefully with a few patches, hopefully not too far away, we can get that under control. And I'm looking forward to sort of getting in there and actually playing with all these toys that I've now unlocked.
Definitely. Yep. Well, cool, man. Well, this was a great show. Next couple weeks are going to be interesting. We are going to have a show next week. We will see the 2 weeks following that. We might have some stand-ins. We will be bringing you a show content, but we have some stuff going on the next couple weeks. So just be on the lookout for that. We will be posting all that information on Twitter, and we appreciate all your patience in situations like that when we're having to navigate real life. So yeah, but Jason, thanks, man. This is another good show. It was kind of fun and nice getting back to just some general news and being able to talk about things we've been talking about for last 6 months prior to release. So it's been a good time.
It is. I feel like we're ramping up though to pre 4.0 discussions. Like I've played enough to know that we're ready to start talking improvements already, and the earlier the better, because we know Disney listened to us. We've got our own developer seats according to JV, and so we need to get our thoughts in early so that they can make it to the next cut, hopefully. Yeah,
whether or not we're and it's not indicative of us being bored with the game or out of stuff to talk about for 3.0. It's that we've had our hands on enough with 3.0 to give some thoughts about what the future could possibly look like.
And it's nice that it's coming from a place of, hey, it's great. Now let's make it even better, rather than it's all bad. It's all bad. Like, turn the car around. Like, it's not that kind of discussion. So and we've still got so much more to explore and unlock in 3.0. So but we got to talk about something here.
Yeah, totally. People in the chat are giving us a hard time, Jason. They're saying we have 15 minutes left. We might have to start doing some song and dance to get through the last 15 minutes. It makes up for those 2-hour shows we have on occasion.
That's it.
All right. Well, friends of the show, we thank you so much for joining us. Thanks, everyone in the chat. We have some people joining us here last minute. Captain Disney, what's up, Alvin? How you doing, buddy? Tesla Blitz showed up, and a few others are like, whoa, we started on time? Yeah, we started on time today. That's our fault. Yeah, that's not what you expect. No, but thanks, everyone who joined us in chat. It was a great conversation there. We got a couple new faces, and we saw all of our familiar faces, friends. And it was a good show. So thanks again, everyone who joined us this week. We're going to post the show right after this. And thanks for joining us. Hope you enjoyed this week's episode of the Inside Infinity podcast. Until next time, we hope your week is filled with infinite possibilities. We hope you enjoyed this week's show. It was a great show. If you like what we do, please check us out on all of our social networks. Look for us on Twitter at Disney Infinity TV, Facebook groups /Disney Infinity TV. Check out our parent network, res.tv. That's youtube.com /Disney Infinity TV. Look for us on YouTube, youtube.com /Disney Infinity TV. Last but not least, we'd like to thank all of our patrons. Check us out, patreon.com /Disney Infinity TV. If you'd like to help support the show, help us do what we do, provide you with new and interesting and fun content. I'd like to thank all of our patrons. James from Infinity Museum. We have Jason from InfinityEnquirer.com. I'd like to say thanks to Corey, Luke, James, Alvin for supporting us, John and Aaron. We appreciate all of your support. Thank you so much. Again, if you're interested in becoming a patron, check out patreon.com /Disney Infinity TV.